And what we are going to do now is a very, very short 15 minutes wrap-up. So we have 5 institutional partners, and everybody will have 3 minutes to summarize. I know that's challenging for you. Yes, and the EBU, I'm sorry, Giacomo. Giacomo, please apologize. This was 2 very long days, and you get an extra minute. No. So I would like to ask all the institutional partners, Giacomo, please come in the middle. I would ask all of you individually. You were involved in different activities during this preparation of this EuroDIG conference, and you all had specific tasks. You were involved in specific dynamics. And I would actually like to ask you to quickly sum up what are your conclusions from the perspective you had during this EuroDIG. And as I missed Giacomo, I would like to invite you maybe to start. Is that okay, or do you feel right now on the spot?
As a user and consumer of EuroDIG, I am quite happy with what I've seen and listened, because it was very useful and interesting. Of course, I missed most of it, because if you go at one initiative, you miss the others. So there is always a choice to be made. For what I followed, I think that we have a good level of participation and very useful exchange. The media section was full of interesting remarks, and I think that we can build on that. The net neutrality experiment of the statement, I think that is very interesting and frustrating as all the experiment, because you never get the results at the first essay, but I think that is in the right direction. And I think that this could mark the difference between EuroDIG and other initiative like the IGF, because we are less institutional, and I hope that we will keep this even in the future, and this could give us a competitive advantages on the other initiative.
Okay, thank you very much, Giacomo. Just pass the microphone to Chris. It's
okay.
Actually, there is no order or.
Okay, yeah, my name is Chris. I'm with RIPE NCC, and so this is the first year that RIPE NCC signed on as an institutional partner for EuroDIG. We've signed on now for 3 years, and so for the coming 3 events we'll be contributing to the organisation, helping out. And we've done that because we've taken part in EuroDIGs really since they began, and see them as a very important forum for our community, for Europe, and for people from beyond even, to come together and discuss these internet governance issues. And I agree, I think when we look at EuroDIG in comparison to other internet governance forums, it really is sort of standing very tall in terms of the kind of discussion, the kind of interaction that it gets from people. So from a RIPE NCC perspective, we obviously go around talking a lot about IPv6, IP addresses, and it was really interesting to see in the opening panel this week, the opening plenary, how much those issues like IPv6 and DNSSEC, sort of issues very important to the technical community, but often lost in the mix with internet governance. But they really came through in the conversation. The conversation was really very well-informed, intelligent and wide-ranging discussion. And so that sort of highlights one of the very positive aspects of EuroDIG. As one of the organisers of this last session, I think a real challenge for EuroDIG is the proliferation of issues. I mean, there are many issues now that really are of great importance and are going through quite key moments. So net neutrality is one, IANA stewardship is another, cybersecurity, privacy, all of these things, there are really very important developments happening that we need to be discussing. Finding the time, finding how to actually get all of that into a EuroDIG program is a challenge, and it's going to remain a challenge. The other thing that was discussed, I was discussing a lot this week on Twitter, was actually the Twitter wall and how Twitter works. I think that's really a very valuable part of this meeting as well. I think the Twitter wall and the Twitter discussions really contribute to how vibrant the participation is. And that's something that I hope, will keep working with the organisers on making sure that that still works and improving that where possible.
Thank you, Chris. Lee, you were involved in the EuroDIG from the beginning. You basically organized the first one, more or less, within the Council of Europe. What are your reflections on this one?
Okay, thank you, Sandra. Yeah, so I work at the Council of Europe, and we've been involved since the beginning. We're one of the sort of founders, if you like. I would say that, you know, I have two hats on here. One is Council of Europe, one is EuroDIG, because I see them as separate and also mingling functions. I was involved in the policy menus session, developing policy options for digital access and inclusion, which I think was very good. I think we have a lot to say at Europe, from Europe to the global IGF, and I was also involved in the Net Mondial side event and other meetings. But my takeaways are, first of all, I think we need to improve on the gender balance. Still, I think we still have to make efforts there. I mean, you don't look at me like that, Sandra. But I mean, also in the conception, design of sessions, I think we can still do more to try to create more balance. That's something still on my mind. I think that we discussed happily more about economic factors in internet governance, which was great. This is a change this year, and I liked it. Yet still, when we talk about economic factors, the non-economic factors kick in, and they're all mixed together. And you know, they're almost inseparable, so they have to be brought together somehow, some way. I think that expectations are rising. I see that with net neutrality work, with other sessions. People are demanding more. They want more. The numbers are up in the sessions, I find, and it makes me realize that we need to do more work to make these processes more robust in terms of being multi-stakeholder, in terms of being transparent and inclusive. We need to do more writing down things. And I think my last point is innovative formats. I think we need to strive to be even more innovative. We need to look at new ways to talk to each other, talk with each other in new settings. There are more connections, but I think I keep talking to people outside the rooms about things, and there is a need to talk in different ways, and I think we should experiment even more in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee.
Both with EuroDIG Secretariat and the other institutional partners has really been great. This is really the first year that I've been on board since the very beginning in the organization of this year edition. And I also look forward to continuing this work in view of IGF. So I think that there it will be important also to show, to bring some of the results coming out of this global scale. I think the small exercise we did together with Frederick and Lee to contribute to a specific request coming from the multi-stakeholder advisory group of the IGF to produce some policy options on digital access and inclusiveness is something positive and a good contribution. Something to be improved on, in addition to gender balance. I think that it would be great to have more young people, innovators, people who really can come and challenge our ideas and our views. And finally, also the European Commission is glad that this year we were able to, we are going to provide some funding for EuroDIG, although it's not enormous, but it's still something. It's a concrete sign of our commitment, and we hope to do more in the future. Next year, EuroDIG will be in Brussels, so I hope to see many of you there and many others as well. Well, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much also for the money in advance.
Thank you, Sandra. So three points. I will be very quick. I guess we have a common ground that we're all exhausted and would like to have a drink, so I will be quick on this one. First, you know how the Internet Society is committed to this governance process, multi-stakeholders, inclusive governance process, not only at international level, regional, but local level. So my understanding is that there was a very high attendance, I don't have the statistic, but a very high attendance from this part of Europe. And this is great, because it means that we keep inspiring local communities, and I feel it's very important. So that would be my first point. My second point would be that from an ISOC perspective, we're happy because we were able to contribute to some very critical issues for the internet. So we had many colleagues here. I want to thank all of them because some of them came from far, outside of Europe. So we were able to contribute to issues that for us were really key: cybersecurity, the INA transition, we just talked about this, the Net Mondial Initiative, equal access, digital divide, and network neutrality. And I would like to say a few words about that and share my thought both at personal and professional level. So I had the chance to be requested to share this experiment on one of the most contentious issues, not only in Europe, but at worldwide level. And I had the chance to work this out with real good experts, and I want to thank them again. I was witnessing and contributing with them in a very professional way. What we have got today, not only this morning, early morning, but during the panel, is a very fair conclusion. So I'm very happy with this. We have got a strong signal from this community that even though this is a very contentious issue, we want to keep working on it. So we were able, and this is a very fair conclusion, to have a draft open document that we commit we will continue to work. So this is really something that I'm happy because we keep showing to the world how the multi-stakeholder work in practice. So we keep inspiring communities. And from an ISOC perspective, I'm also happy that I will be able to continue contributing to improving this document from my organizations. All to say, inspiration is a key word, and you said it, Christina. Brussels will be the next stop, and it's my favorite city because it's my home city, so I will be glad to welcome you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Frederick. And now the last in this round is Thomas. He is also involved from the very beginning. So Thomas, you have the last word for this round.
Thank you. First of all, one thing that I thought was great was the EuroDIG. I learned a lot about things that are maybe slightly different in this region than where I come from. I also appreciated the way the discussion were held among the people from the region and with people from other regions in Europe. That was something that we will try and find a way to continue this special dialogue. At least I would very much support this. I was amazed by the quality of and the interactivity of some of the discussions we had. I want to end with also, again, making one point about this document, statement, whatever you call it, exercise. Some people were surprised by this, which is natural. Some people have missed it, some people were angry, some people liked it. What values or what happens, what is the most important to me is that this is really a contribution of Europe to the global debate on how to further develop multi-stakeholder dialogue processes. We've heard for years now by many people, in particular from Europe, that the IGF, that EuroDIG, these are all talk shops, that is a traveling circus, they keep repeating the same issues, nothing happens. Net Mondial was the precedent. We tried to build on this, we tried to experiment on this, and we knew that it would be a challenge and that it would not be easy because there's no real process, no real structure for this. And I'm very thankful for Frederick having had the courage to lead this so far, and we hope that you will continue to lead this, because if we will need to step up with a structure, with a process, that will take some resources, which we will need to share. But I'm convinced that this is a contribution that will be taken or has been taken note of already by other IGF structures, by stakeholders from outside Europe, and that will contribute to the debate on how to develop an IGF after 2015 and other IGF structures. So this is, to me, is fundamentally important. And you need a little bit of courage to do new things because you don't really know how to do them unless you start doing them. And I really liked also the engaged discussions that we had about this. So thanks to all who participated in the discussion and to hopefully will continue to participate in this. And then I will just end by saying that since Strasbourg and then Geneva and then the others, EuroDIG has continued to grow. The expectations have continued to grow. so far, we more or less managed to live up to the expectations. There were also some small things that didn't go as they should have this time, and this time it was Ripe, whose session fell a little bit in between the overtaking of schedules. We continue to try and improve this, and also the Secretariat is also eager to get your feedback on other things that can continue to be improved. And we will need to have more resources as we grow. Brussels will probably be a very big EuroDIG, and very happy that after 8 years, where one country out of the 47 in Europe, plus a supranational organization or two, there was one country who gave money to EuroDIG. I don't say which one, you may guess which one it is. So we have now a second one, and I'm really happy, and I hope that will encourage others to also contribute financially, because somebody needs to pay for this, and I think also there we should show that the multi-stakeholder model works in the funding of this exercise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thomas, and thanks to all of you for this feedback. This is definitely valuable. We also give opportunity for focal points and for those who were involved in the session organizing to provide us a feedback, because you were in close cooperation with the Secretariat, with the community to set up the sessions. Usually we meet on the day after for a breakfast. This is a very open thing, so if you just want to provide us your feedback, just come to this breakfast tomorrow here in this hotel. If not, we will provide other opportunities to gather your feedback towards to the EuroDIG Secretariat. Didn't I say 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock in this hotel in the breakfast room. We will reserve a bigger table. And then I also want to remind reporters to submit your report within the next 48 hours. We are not want to have written text. We want to have 3 to 5 bullet points which go into the messages as they are. We won't edit them, we won't shorten them, but they should be very, very short. We only have very small messages, 1 A5 page for each session, including a picture. So there's really not much more space than something like this. And it should be bullet points, have a European focus, and forward-looking. And then last but not least, I would like to thank all those who made this possible. First of all, it was Ilya Basilankov from Unicard. I had to convince you a little bit to do it in Bulgaria, and I'm very happy that you accepted to do so. Ilya's team, it's Tanya and Katja. Please come here. Come here. Katja was the one who was managing all processes in Bulgaria, catering, technique, hotel, everything, and Tanya was, I think, the left and the right hand of Katja, can I say so? Then I would also like to ask Lorena to come on stage. Besides sitting behind the computer and managing Twitter walls, she was also organizing the first new media summer school, which was organized by the EuroDIG Secretariat entirely. We had no youth organization partner this time, so it was all on her and her team, her partners in Bulgaria. And she did a really great job. Yeah, they come, don't worry. So then I want to ask Wolf. Wolf is in the Secretariat. For quite a while. Wolf is the one who is looking after the org teams, that they are doing, that they are following the session principles, not too many speakers on the panel, that the remote moderators and the moderators, the reporters are all there. So he is actually the one who has sometimes the very hard job to say, I'm sorry, your panel is not the way it should be. Then I want to ask Sorina to come on that stage. beside organizing the CEDIC together with the other team from this region, the EXCOM, she was helpful on so many issues, setting up a WebEx, having the connections to the IGF WebEx platform, helping with the New Media Summer School. And she was everywhere, and she helped us to distribute the funding which we received to fund participants from this region. So she was actually almost a part of this secretariat at that point. Thank you. Then I want to ask Bernard to come on stage. Bernard actually is a old, well-known, he's not old, but he's a well-known, no. He is well-known, and he contacted us, hey guys, I'm around in Europe, I might be there just to help you, and I think without your help, it would have been much more difficult. I guess Lorena wouldn't have slept at all. So she had at least 2 hours. So thank you, Bernard, for doing this. And then I would also like to ask Annelia Dimova to come on stage. She was our contact person. She was the contact person in the ministry. I know she sometimes had a very hard job to sell this strange concept to her administration, to her minister, to her boss, and we had some heavy email exchanges, and I also recognized that you were working till late on EuroDIG. I think it was more or less on top of your job. Thank you very much, Annelia, and thanks to all of you. Usually or in the past, we distributed flowers or book vouchers or something like this. We said, okay, some people of you have to go on the plane tomorrow, so what to do with the flowers? So we decided that all of you are going to be invited for a dinner tonight. It will take place in the Captain Cook restaurant right here in this hotel, and we will meet at 8 o'clock. Some other people, founding members, EuroDIG partners will also participate in this huge dinner. It will be sort of a wrap up and very informal, and I hope you are all able to participate.
Sorry, Sandra, to interrupt you from the off. I have to do this because, of course, you would never thank yourself, so we will do it. Sandra, it's great having you as the anchor of all this. When everybody's occupied and busy, Sandra is there. And manages the whole thing, keeps the whole thing together, alerts others that they do their job, including all of us. So we're really happy to see how you play your role, and thank you 1,000 times. Thank you, Sam.
And with this, I declare the meeting adjourned.